Washington mornings on the Mall. 105.9 FM. And AM 630. WMAL.
Soy Mitt Romney y apruebo este mensaje. Muchas gracias.
I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message. Thank you.
Very much, I believe. Yeah, very good.
Many things.
Yeah, many things. We're bilingual. No doubt about it.
I know just enough Spanish to get into serious trouble.
Right.
It's not good.
KERRY Pickett from the Washington Times joins us now. We're playing that because there's a big primary in Puerto Rico on Sunday. You know, listen, this is the math everybody talks about to get to 1144. It's kind of like every vote counts, you know. It's kind of like Florida. In order to get to 1144, you got to pick up some delegates, and there are 20 delegates on the line in Puerto Rico.
Right.
Good morning, KERRY. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
So I know that, listen, Rick Santorum said something that I think was controversial in Puerto Rico for sure the other day. I don't know how it's playing out over there, where he said basically if you want statehood, you're going to have to. Did he say you'd have to make English the official language, or just say that English needs to be the language that is spoken more than any other language?
Well, he's saying that he originally said that it has to be the primary language, but that it shouldn't be the only language. You know, he said that he's walking his statements back and he's clarifying now. But you know what, though? For everyone to be going after Rick Santorum right now, saying, that he was being insensitive towards Hispanics and that that's just nonsense. Because, look, this whole, English-Spanish debate over in Puerto Rico has been going on for over 100 years now. You know, quite literally since, the early 1900s. This is nothing new. And quite literally, we're seeing here is that Puerto Rico really has to start settling in to the idea that they really do have to start upping the standards of having more people learn English. You know, because that is quite literally the fact that they do have financial problems down there, and they do have to start upping their employment rate down there. And moreover, they're having problems with a lot of the students who are educated down there leaving the island to come to the States. And probably one of their biggest attractions down in Puerto Rico is the tourism industry.
Sure.
And if you're going to work in the tourism industry, you're going to have to know English.
Sure.
Yeah.
No doubt.
But is statehood even an issue in this particular primary?
It's always an issue in Puerto Rico, isn't it? It's talked about all the time, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, usually as far as statehood being debated, you know, like people in Puerto Rico have the last time it was being debated was about, I believe it was last year, and it was brought to the Congress, and, still, in a separate vote, you had, it was pretty much defeated 194 to 198. And right now, as far as Puerto Ricans are concerned, they still are looking at the status quo, which is having it as a territory. Mm-hmm. Puerto Ricans are not ready for it to become a state just yet. As far as I'm concerned, look, my mother's Puerto Rican, and she's simply looking at it as simply just wanting to have it as the status quo, because she looks at it as, look, it's not financially ready yet. It's simply, it's not culturally ready yet to really want to really become a state just yet. Yet it has been Americanized, but not so much to the point where, say, Hawaii was, ready to become a state in the early 60s.
Right. So I see Joe Biden is back on the campaign trail. Are you looking forward to having Joe Biden back out there and being able to track him down and listen to his words of wisdom?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Endlessly entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Puerto Rico, he was the one who said, I want to be, he said, I want to die and be reborn in Puerto Rico, by the way. I mean, like to have great gaffes like that and to report on them is probably the greatest part of the job. But you know what, though? I think one of the reasons why, of course, they're bringing Joe Biden back onto the campaign trail is probably because, right now we're seeing the War on Women campaign just crash and burn. And even though a lot of people like to say that the the Republicans don't have a nominee and it's hurting them. In a way, I think it's probably also helping them because the Obama campaign just simply doesn't know who to fire at. So they have three, there's four people technically, but I don't necessarily always count Ron Paul because I'm never really too sure who he's actually running, or exactly what office he's actually running for at this point. But essentially more people out there that they can actually shoot at. And so they figure, okay, well, we have to go at, say, Sarah Palin. We have to go at Rush Limbaugh. And if there was one nominee at this point, then every bit of firepower that they'd have, they'd actually go with that one person. So they don't know what's up, what's down,
right.
And they're spending a lot of money at that, at that crazy campaign. And at this point, it's backfiring on them.
One of the things that they have a problem with right now is the high price of gasoline, and the president decided that, he was going to approach this by making fun of those who believe that the answer is to actually go and look for more oil and natural gas.
Yeah, exactly. He called them. He basically compared them to the flat Earth people, or people who actually believe in a flat Earth, which I found to be pretty amusing, considering he ended up making another strange comment saying that Rutherford B. Hayes didn't like
the telephone.
whole invention of the telephone, which ended up being completely debunked by New York Magazine, saying no, Rutherford B. Hayes actually liked the telephone. He was the first president to have a telephone in the White House. So, frankly, this was just another way of the White House and many liberals saying that that Republicans and conservatives don't believe in science, which is complete nonsense.
Kerry, good to have you on. Thanks as always. We appreciate